body. The neck is typically longer because it goes more into the collarbone than the shoulder. It doesn't directly connect. It kind of branches out. Right here, I am drawing the ribs. This is the shoulder length. And then the ribs come up and meet halfway. Right about there. The ribs are very important, especially in females, because if you're drawing the female anatomy, you kind of have to see the ribs in order to know where they go. The tits. But we are drawing a standard male. So yeah. This is the stomach area, from like right underneath the ribs down to the mid hips. Not the mid, the top of the hips. To kind of, yeah, kind of obvious. Then right here is the pelvis. Pelvis, yeah, and then we bring it down. Oh, simple shapes. Always use simple shapes. As you can see here, I'm using circles, cylinders, more squares, and circles, and, oh, I already said circles, and triangles. Simple shapes in bodies will always help you know where to go. And joints are a really hard thing to understand. Like, here, it's pretty easy to know where the shoulder joints are, but you might not know where the joints are in the hips. Just remember that they always branch out from the top. Kind of in that general area. And do not skip leg day on your art. What kind of position? Positions are quite hard to, yeah. Let's do a standard standing position. Arm comes down into the elbow, which this can go either like up, or it can go like down through there, or anywhere you really want. No limitations, except for, well, the limitation is the human body. But we're just gonna bring it down. Make sure you add slight muscles, because we don't want a scrawny. Right here is the bicep. Then it branches on down, and then make sure you put slight curves. But elbows are typically right here, and then end is mid-thigh, which we can't see right now. That's how long arms are. So, forearm is typically more triangular, and then it comes down into the hand, which I will draw in a bit. Don't worry if your art is not even. It does drive people insane. For example, me. That's about, oh my god. I am currently pretty sick right now, so I'm just doing this out of the kindness of my heart. This comes down to right about here. Make sure it is somewhat even. Both arms, yeah. Bicep. Get further down. Then hand. Sort of like that. Hands are really hard to do, so sometimes I just do little that, but I'm not going to show that here. Obviously, there are different types of bodies, like oversized, scrawny, literally just skin and bones, and female, male, young, old, teen. It's always different. But here we're just going to do something different. So here is, well, the genitals, which we're not going to do anything because family friendly. Depending on if you have like dip hips, well, we all know the hips are right here, and then it goes in and then back up, but not that exaggerated. Remember that this is just a small thing on seeing how joints and shapes work. And this is just simple. We aren't going to go in heavy depth on how poses, line of action, or anything of that matter. So thighs, go down here, make sure you add the muscles and stuff. Knees, knee joints are, yeah. And then make sure they come in, and then slightly, oh, so slightly back out. And then foot is kind of, you can't really see. Foot is kind of just a triangle brought up. For front facing, don't always take my word though. This is just, remember, this is just my style and how I do stuff. Do the same on the other leg. We will add more depth in a second. But this time, instead of doing front facing, because you've already seen, by the way, joint right there, we are going to do a slight side foot. And it is a lot more detailed, a lot more in detail than the front facing foot. So it kind of makes sure you get the heel, which is a small circle at the end, and then a arc. Because if you take a second and look at your foot, you'll notice that there is a small arch in there. And then it goes up here. This is kind of where it connects here. And then here is the toes. Kind of along those lines. Give me 1 second. make sure that they are even on the ground unless it is on a uneven plane. Then that's where knees and hips come into play, or even torso sometimes. So this is a simple male body. Females are typically a lot more exaggerant. But yeah. Hands, right. So hands resting are usually not like flat 5. It is more of a resting in almost a fist, but not. So always, you can always use your hands as reference or just photos. Reference photos are okay. They are not, as long as you're not tracing or copying other people's art, you're completely fine. This is how people learn. You can add your own twists if you would like. But yeah. I like to do a small, rectangle. And then start off with going inwards, another small rectangle signifying this part of your thumb. And then these, you will have to do that kind of like a mitten, but more out. And then the thumb comes more down, like right here, and it's, as you can tell, it is a lot stubbier than most of your other fingers. Like that. Make sure joints are prominent and not just not there. Joints are a huge part, and you will hear me say this you have heard me say this multiple times. So this is the pointer, and then it comes, you won't be able to see all of the fingers, but it comes like about this. That's pretty much a hand. And make sure not to make them too small. It has to be able to, if it's open, at least do the face. Do the same on the other hand, on the other side, but you can switch up the pose a little bit. I'm not, because this is just resting. Sorry about my voice, I truly am. As you can tell, mistakes do happen, and this thumb is a lot longer than this thumb. So we're just going to fix that up a little bit. Don't get mad if you do make a mistake. It's human nature. So, yeah, this is a typical male body, and all done. Hope this helps, and have an amazing day.